Good evening, everybody.
Good morning, America, and for the rest of the world. Our vlog for tonight is all about that we will give you first-hand knowledge about thinking of visiting the Philippines for the first time.
One of the questions I see is a lot of people want to come overseas, and Philippines is 10,000 miles from Miami. So people want to come over here, but they're apprehensive. They have a lot of questions. And I see people trying to answer on some of the other vlogs, and they do a good job. And one thing I'm not going to try and compete with is some of these young guys have beautiful visuals. So the visual aids are all out there. But I've come into this country now for over 6 years, and I know a lot of things that can help you with your travel plans. So that's what we're going to talk about today. First thing is about the flight. In America, the flights are different. Now, you've flown in from Abu Dhabi. I don't know the prices for y'all flying in from there.
It's expensive, as usual, but that one is covered by my company.
Alright, so you didn't have to buy the plane ticket.
No.
Yes, from America, if you fly from like the west coast of San Francisco, since it's closer over the Pacific, you can get cheaper tickets. But in the middle of America, like where I'm at, I fly out of Dallas most of the time. And if you're lucky and you book in advance, you can find tickets for about $600. Now, that was before all this stuff happened, so there may be some changes going on.
The ticket, the price usually change every minute. I just remember one time when I was about to go back here in the Philippines, so we'll try to book the ticket. So when we find the price, we just decided to eat dinner first. After just 30 minutes, the price went high.
Yeah, that's same in America. But right now, just for people that are planning, no one knows when you'll be able to come into the Philippines. This is just for you to write down some information. And we did a video earlier on budget. And I know a lot of people flying here, they have different varying budgets. And that's what we're going to discuss. My sisters came last year, and their budget may have been different than other people. But what we're going to do is just kind of give you a range where you can understand.
It's better to check every day
Right.
and compare the prices because it changes every day. So if you got a cheaper price, better grab it as fast as you can.
In flying here, you also have to remember you have to have an onward flight, or you have to have a round trip back to wherever you came from. You don't have to have a round trip. You can, like me, a lot of times I'll book my flight here and then I'll get a cheaper flight on over to Taiwan or something like that. But you have to have a flight showing that you're leaving.
Yeah.
So now you've arrived in the Philippines. And Manila Airport, now there's several others. There's Clark and there's Cebu, so there's other areas to go. But when you fly into Manila, once again, you're flying into a town of 10, 11, 12, 13 million people.
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
And it's very hectic, very confusing. The one thing I will tell you that's changed for people and made it a lot easier, the cabs were so dishonest when I first started coming here. The price range was anywhere from a couple dollars to get back over to my condominium. Her friend flew in from England or Abu Dhabi or somewhere. He flew in and he just let them tell him. And he paid over $50 just to come a few blocks. Because our condo was a few blocks from.
But there is a taxi, they called it an airport taxi. It is already in the airport. So, but that one they have a fixed price. But if you'll just grab a taxi on the airport, the taxi driver will ask you more.
Yeah,
because they know it's $1. If it's a foreigner, first comes in their mind is $1.
Yeah, and they're very dishonest. I mean, there's just quite a few. Now, people have started using Grab here. Grab become very popular. And so a lot of people, when they get off their plane, they're already on their, if they have a phone network that they're able to do, they're already calling a Grab to have a Grab meeting them out front. Because it's very confusing. I know both of my sisters had a hard time because for us, we've been coming here so much, you know how to go down and meet somebody, but for the person coming in, it's just very, very imposing. When they get off that plane, and you're excited, you're in a new area, and now all of a sudden, you got to figure out how to get to your luggage and then get to the people that are meeting with you. Now, Linda, I was able to get a hold of quickly, but my other sister, Brenda, it took quite a few times of us circling the airport, circling.
And speaking about luggage, you will expect also that you will have a lost luggage because it happened to him twice.
Three times.
Three times. But what happened was, it was put in the other airplane. Remember, you will transfer the airplane, so sometimes the luggage don't go with the airplane that you ride with.
Or you get my luggage that I got back this time was in pieces. I mean, they literally had destroyed it,
Yeah,
and they
it's broken.
claimed that it was that way when I gave it to them. You know, so you don't ever bring good luggage. I will tell you that.
They will just throw it as away.
So when you get your Grab or your cab or whatever, and get you, what we're going to get to now is hotels. Now, the good thing about the Philippines, there's a huge array. And I know a lot of y'all with the Airbnbs, you're very comfortable with those, and that's fine. But here, there's a budget hotel for whatever price you want to spend. It's totally up to you. She stayed in some where she's had to meet me at the airport. It only cost $10, and had her father and her kids all there with her, and had 2 free complimentary breakfasts.
Yeah.
You know, and
That's when we stayed in Kabayan Hotel, which
Right.
is cheaper.
And then she had a meeting for her midwife class.
Yeah, I attended a convention, but
That was
that one
Shangri-La.
is covered by the some. It was sponsored, so but it cost around 15,000 per night,
which is $300.
Yeah.
At Shangri-La. And then we used to always stay, what was the name of
Sea
Residence. And it was around $50.
Yeah.
You know, and then the last time I flew out, we wanted to spend Christmas together. And so we stayed at the brand new Holiday Inn they had over by Resort World, and it was around $100. The Marriott runs from $200 to $300. So whatever price that you're comfortable with on your budget, it's no issue here. But if you have a very small budget, plenty of hotels to choose from.
And the condos.
Right.
There are a lot of condos for rent.
Right, and they're not in bad areas. They're in good areas. Anything around the Mall of Asia, you'll feel real safe there.
Like the Shell,
Shore, all of
and
them.
Sea Resident.
And the Golden Dragon right across the street. That was
Dragon.
what we said we're going to be the one we stay in the next time because it looks like a really beautiful restaurant in it. But
those are closer to Mega Mall. It's just
Mall
of Asia.
And what makes
It's
them
across
nice,
the
some of the
street.
best for American coming here, where she's talking about on shore and those areas there. You could walk to an Outback over there. What was the Canadian one?
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of that. Where we went and had the donuts in the morning. It's
Tim Hortons.
Tim Hortons, a Canadian
Hortons,
company.
yeah.
Very nice restaurant. Super people that work there take good care of you.
Everything is there around that
Right.
area.
You don't have to worry about leaving it. You can walk. You don't even need a car. You don't even need a cab.
You don't need a cab. You
Where
just
Brenda
walk.
stays, she could have walked across the street to Tim Hortons, and there's an Outback in the same parking lot with Tim Hortons. So the hotel range, you know, everybody's good now about going on, but just set your price range of what you want. It's here. You know, you can find a decent little hotel for $20 a night any day of the week. You know, and that was before all this. I'm sure they're going to be cheaper now because they're going to be looking for a lot of new business.
Yeah.
All right, so we discussed that. You know, getting here, the drive over, and the different hotels and all this kind of stuff. So now what I want to talk about is, you know, once you're here and you want to travel, many ways. Of course, you have your typical tricycles, the jitneys, and the cabs. And the tricycles is what it sounds. It's a motorcycle with a sidecar. And the jitney's an old converted World War II Jeep that they extend out the back and make them into jitneys. And those are real popular for the tourists the first time around. My sister couldn't wait to ride in one and stuff like that.
Maybe it is your first time to see a tricycle and a jeepney.
Right. It's always kind of a tourist thing.
Yeah.
But one of the things I did when I first got here, because I had a bigger budget 6 years ago when I came here, is that you could get a car and a driver here. For the whole day, it run you about $100, 5,000 pesos. So we would have a driver.
7 o'clock in the morning to 7 o'clock in the evening.
Right, 7 to 7. And they drive us up to Tall Volcano, took us down to Batangas beaches, wherever you want to go. Only other thing you had to do was fill up the tank of gas when they finished dropping you off for the night. So it was $100 for 12 hours and filled up the gas. We found a cab driver that's willing to pick you up after hours also, and it wasn't nearly as expensive because he's the one that drove us to the birthday party out in Laguna. You know, so traveling around is easy, especially in Manila. Now, you get out to some of these provinces, you're going to be very limited on buses. That's what you're going. And the buses are quite comfortable. You have a big range on the buses. You have the ones with no air conditioning that I wouldn't ride in if you held a gun to me. But then you have the what's the one we like? Cirrus. Very, very comfortable, air conditioning, Wi-Fi, nice movies on. Hell, they have first run movies. Movies they haven't even seen in the theater yet. They got them on the Cirrus buses.
You will be entertained in the bus if you ride in the bus because there is a TV.
Right, and they're very nice. And the new ones now have the built-in bathrooms that you can step in. So traveling around in the big cities like Cebu and Manila, it is so simple. Now, you will be sitting in traffic for a while. You won't be moving, but you'll be comfortable. But my advice to somebody with a budget is always get a car and a driver.
Yeah. Because and last time, remember, we rent a car.
Right.
Rent a car. There's a rent a car in the airport.
Right. We rented a van, a nice van. But even that, they have Hertz. Now, that was just some. So in America, we call it rent-a-jalopy, but it wasn't bad. It was like 4 or 5 year old van. But my sisters and all them thought it was quite comfortable, and we drove it all over the place. We went all over the tall volcano and everywhere else.
Just don't drink it.
Right. Don't hit a bird that crosses the road because you got to pay for the license, the plastic license plate. But the options on getting around is really simple. And then, like I said, the airlines fly also in between the cities quite often. And it's very inexpensive to fly from Manila down to Cebu or something like that. You can get flights real cheap. So what I was going to talk about now is once you're here in the food. Now, I would strongly suggest till you find out how your stomach and stuff adjust to it, is everywhere we go, when I first came here, wherever we ate, I would always ask for a Coke in a can or a bottle and a bottle of water. I wouldn't even take a chance on a fountain drink because of the water, and especially in Manila. Because it can cause you a lot of problems. But as far as food, in any of the restaurants I eat at, the only time I've ever had an issue that we all had an issue, except I think G, was in Coron. And we weren't thinking too well. We were buying the bottled water.
I did when we get back here.
Right. Well, we were buying the bottled water, but remember it was just in a big tall. And I got the feeling this guy was just filling it up out of the faucet and sticking it in the refrigerator. And I'd almost be willing to bet money. And we should have known better. When we look is for Aquafina or something like that, that's made by Pepsi or Coke or what it is, and we try to stick to those. I don't know why we just had brain freezes and we were getting the big bottle of waters brought to the table, and I can almost every one of us got sick. So I can guarantee you that was the only common thing we had. We didn't eat the same food; we all drank the same water. So take it for what it's worth. Try to stick to a canned Coke or something to try out your system to see what you like. And while you're traveling around, we talked about earlier, there's Outbacks and all those, but try some of the street vendors. There's a lot of you not going to know what it is, but a lot of you guys are so much more advanced than me with these Google phones and Google interpretations that you can what's the one with the fried egg? Quack, quack, quack. Just you look at it, I don't want that, but it's just nothing but an egg battered and fried. It's probably delicious. And I eat now all the shawmai and churros. The churros are fantastic. Well, we buy them out of the little 2 peso bags they have at the stores now. What's the little place we ate at Tanawa? And we took the kids there with the barbecue.
Yeah, the barbecue, yeah.
All those places, I eat those places fine. I just don't drink the beverage there. I buy my own Coke and stuff. And I do take chances on the pineapple juice because I'm assuming that it's fresh most of the places. So I'll drink the pineapple juice or anything like that if they serve it. The only thing I just don't want to drink is their Kool-Aid or whatever they're making in the water. But as far as food goes, if you eat the local foods, and like I said, there's so many that's delicious, from the pork adobo and the chicken adobo and all these things. They're very good and the price is low. But if you get into the Outbacks and everything, it's going to be double what it costs in America. We love going to Chili's. She loves the beef tips and some of Chili's, and I love the chicken sandwich and the burgers. But it's double what it is in America. You can get a sandwich.
Expensive.
$6 or $7 in America is $12 to $15 here. But it's still just as good. It's very good. But there is those options. Denny's is here at the Venice Mall. We took my sisters in there, and everybody enjoyed it. The food was fantastic. But it's just what your budget allows. But you should be able to try both. But just understand, you'll find your Western places. There's IHOP. There's an IHOP right there by the Shore Hotel. But it's just going to cost you more. And a lot of the local food. And if you're going to buy your own food, and you have to have some Western food, Western food.
Yeah.
What's the green? I always get it wrong. Greenville Mall.
Yeah.
The one in Makati.
Yeah, the one in Makati, Greenbelt Mall.
Greenbelt Mall. You know they have
Rustan Supermarket.
Right. They have a lot of Western food in there. I found Omaha steaks in there. It was the happiest day since I've been in the Philippines.
Actually before, when we didn't know about the SNR, we usually went to Manila once a week just to buy a grocery.
Yeah. So
for the
it's
imported groceries.
Yeah, so it's really good. And now that they open SNRs, I talked on one of our earlier videos, that's just nothing but a Sam's Club. And you get anything you want in there, but it's very expensive. Now, this is just for the people traveling here for the first time. Only thing I will say now, is somebody coming here wants to stay a while, I want to discuss your visa with you. And so it's real easy. Your first 30 days is free. When you get here, you just walk in, show them your passport, and they stamp it. You don't have to have any paperwork other than showing you have an ongoing flight. And then after that first one, you have to go to the BI office.
Bureau of Immigration office to extend your visa.
And if you go there, you have two choices. You can leave your passport, and it may take
expedite.
Or you pay for an expedition. But that, what I talked about the other day, they charged me 1,000 pesos, which is $20, to do the expedition model.
You need to extend first 1 month, right?
Right.
After you use the 29 days, you can extend 1 month, and after the 1 month, it should be 2 months.
Right, and that's when you get the card.
Yeah.
The I-card.
And the I-card, the price is based on the dollar rate. If the dollar is low, so the card will be cheaper. But if in the day that you go to Bureau of Immigration and the dollar rate is high, so you'll be paying a high price for your I-card. But the I-card is good for 1 year.
Right, and it's an identification card. It has your picture on there and all this other stuff. So it's like an American-style identification. Right?
You don't need to bring your passport always. If you have your I-card, you can just show your I-card.
And it has your address and everything, where you're staying at, and all this kind of stuff. So that's after 2 months. And the prices on these vary, so I'm not even going to talk about the price because it goes all over the place.
Yeah, it changes.
But, but you need to plan on, every time you go, have a couple of $100 with you. And then after the 2 months, which I really like because it's actually a lot cheaper, you can go to the 6 month. And you can do that multiple times, 6 months before you have to leave the country.
But as soon as you renew your visa for 6 months, and after 2 months you decided to flew on Taiwan or Singapore, so when you go back, you'll be back to zero. Start over.
And one thing I didn't get told, and I luckily the guy at the airport worked with me because they weren't going to let me get on the plane, is that if you've been here 6 months, you have to go get a letter from the BI. Even though
a certification.
Right. Even though I was there, I just went there and got the updated visa, they didn't tell me. So I went through all the trouble, go to the airport, sat there for 12 hours overnight, waiting to catch a 5 a.m. flight. And when I'm getting aboard, they said, "Oh, no, you don't have the letter from the BI saying you can leave." That you deal with a lot here on communication. Communication is not good. You have to do your own research, and that's why I'm doing this video. Yeah. You can send us more questions if you have about coming here and some of the aggravations that you deal with. But I'm going to tell you right now, the Philippines love paperwork. It's just their national pastime. So you need to prepare yourself. Every document, when we went to buy a car, the document seemed like it was this thick. Just a simple title transfer of a car. So just prepare yourself on that. But, the BIs, when we go to in Batangas, people there are super nice, super friendly. We're in and out quick. It's not an issue there.
Accommodating.
If you go to the one in Manila, you might be there all day. And you might have to come back the next day.
Before we didn't know about Batangas, Batangas Bureau of Immigration. So what we did, we still go to Manila, North EDSA, and of course, if you're in Manila, there are a lot of people in line, so you need to wait. You'll spend your whole day waiting for your paper. And like here in Batangas, we just spend an hour and a half, and we're done. And
it's air conditioned, it's comfortable, it's nice. But really, the visas, you need to stay on top of that. You don't want to mess around with that. So if you decide you're going to stay now, and this video is running a little longer than I was hoping, I really want to discuss one other thing that's very important. I'm a big guy, as you can tell. Getting clothes here, if you're staying long, is very hard. I wear a size 15 shoe. Impossible. 13, 14 is
It's
impossible.
impossible for you to find the
You
15
ha-
size.
So, like now, I brought 6 pairs of shoes with me this time. You should always know that if you have a small foot, 10 and under, you're okay. You're fine. They have great shoes. You got Skechers and all that stuff here, Nike. Any kind of shoe you want, they have. The sizes are small. And even clothes, I bought some shorts
The
and
biggest
stuff.
they have is 12 or 13.
And that's only under...
In Manila.
What's that? Clog was the only one I ever found those. And even then, it was a tight... I would just strongly suggest, if you have big feet, 12 and bigger, have 2 or 3 pairs in your bag, because you're not going to find them here. You know?
It'll be hard.
And the main,
the size of Filipino.
right, and then even like she said, how about you an extra large shirt? Well, for an extra large shirt to fit me here in America, I can wear a 2X. Here, I have to wear a 5X. It's just different branding, different sizes.
But there is a store in Mega Mall. They call it Max. Max is the brand of the extra large shirt and extra large pants.
Right, and they're very comfortable. I have 2 pairs I bought there, and but I always understand that, you know, you can get things. She gets her clothes made for dirt cheap. You know.
So for me, I like my design, my own style. So what I did, I just bought a cloth and I will just bring it to my seamstress and do it for me.
Seamstress.
Seamstress.
Sounded like you said mistress.
Not a mistress.
Seamstress. Yeah, and she's really lucky because this lady does such a good job for her. She'll get one piece of fabric, and the lady make her a dress, Bea a dress, and an extra
and
shirt.
the cloth is very cheap. It's
Right.
very
Well,
cheap.
not only that, you only pay what, 100 pesos, 200 pesos,
Yeah, 200 pesos and can make you 3 dresses.
and that's $4. She gets 3 dresses made for $4, and they look brand new right off the rack. You know, so she looks up on that.
And she just asked a labor fee of 250 pesos.
Oh,
It's cheaper.
you can't beat that. So if you meet somebody here, hopefully they have contacts and stuff like that. But clothes, like I said, it's no issue. You got really nice clothing stores here. If you're in Manila Mega Mall, they got all the
There's a
name
lot of-
brand stores that they have in America.
There's a lot of shopping malls.
In America, it's anything. It's just the sizes. You're very restricted on size. If you're a smaller type guy, and you're going to be fine, no problem. And the last thing I want to tell you, what makes it really nice living here, and we learned through trial and error, they get good delivery here. Now, it's not as fast as it is in the States, but we have this company named Lazada. The other day I ordered a light bulb. A couple days later, it comes here, and it's very inexpensive. But we also have Amazon here now. Now, the only problem with Amazon, I've looked at 2 or 3 things on Amazon, and the price is one thing, and getting it delivered is double. You know, so I haven't really ever ordered anything on Amazon, but I seen the house across the street that they have an Amazon package delivered. So
You
it's
have
here.
your Lazada, your Amazon, and the Shopee. There's another one in Shopee, just like Lazada.
Right, and Lazada's good. The only problem with Lazada is the quality of the product, but the price is so low you can't really complain.
But before you order, you need to check and view
Yeah,
all
always.
the
Always reviews. Yeah, because I
read all the reviews before you order.
Yeah, because now, I'll be honest with you, a lot of times they get bad reviews, I just delete it off my thing, I don't even order it. But like the other day we got a light in, I was real nervous, I thought the light was going to be this big because the price was so cheap, it was $3, I just couldn't believe it was a fan belt, ceiling fan type light.
And usually the delivery charge is only $1.
Right, yeah, it's
$1.
50 pesos, you know, so we were pretty happy with it when it came in because it was really nice, it lights up the whole room like the 4th of July. But really, these are just some of the basic stuff. If you have any other questions, I'll respond to them and answer them. And cause one of the things
just put a comment below.
Right. Because one of the reasons I'm telling you why, like, we're even sitting in the room tonight, because I'm fighting with gout. And so I can't even get up. For me to walk is a thrill. And when I thrill, it means in a bad way. It's very painful.
Yeah.
So we just kind of sat here tonight and just figured that we see so many people that are apprehensive about their first time flying here. Like, it's not a big deal. You know, the one thing we did leave out that makes it super nice for an American, when you get off the plane, every single sign is in English. So
You'll not be lost.
You won't be lost. It's easy. And even though they may not can communicate with you in English, they understand the words. So at least a lot of people will understand it and be able to get you if you tell them Resort World or Marriott or Holiday Inn. Now, you run into a few, but most of them can get you there. You know, but I will tell you that that's the nicest thing for a foreigner, for me, especially American, coming here. When you step off the plane, you see Kodak signs and McDonald's signs, and everything's in
This
English.
way,
So
that
it just makes it so much easier. It's just a piece of cake when you get off. And the people are super friendly. They want to help you, even if they don't understand you. They want to help you. So just understand that when you get here. And then, you know, I think you'll find your experience, even just for a visit, a vacation. I think my sisters really enjoyed themselves. My other sister was wishing we had nicer accommodations.
Yeah, so for checking the accommodation,
Yeah, you just need to, what you could accept.
check the picture.
But see, she stayed at Appleton and she loved
Yeah,
it.
Appleton.
You know, we stayed at Cebu. No, where was that? Appleton. That was Cebu.
In
Right?
Cebu, yeah.
Yeah, so we stayed at the Appleton at Cebu, and she was thoroughly shocked because she wasn't expecting something for that price range to be so nice. You know,
It's
so,
just like getting the right price and check the reviews and check the pictures. So just don't click immediately as soon as you saw the name. Just better read the reviews.
and tomorrow is Monday, so I was going to do some traditional Creole style red beans tomorrow.
Your video tomorrow.
You know, and I explained to her, being from the New Orleans area, how we have these traditions on what we eat, and Monday is always red beans. Yeah. So we already got them soaking for tomorrow, and then tomorrow I'll go over my red bean, Creole red bean recipe, and hopefully you'll like it. But other than that, I guess that's about all we have for tonight.
Yeah.
Hopefully you got some information out of this, but like I said, if you got any other questions, please send them, and we'll try to answer those as quickly as possible.
Okay, so thank you for watching this video, and just don't forget to put comment below if you have any questions. Just don't forget to
Subscribe.
like, share, subscribe, and click the bell. Thanks for watching.
The subscribe to me is the most important, so please subscribe.
subscribe.
Yeah, exactly. Subscribe. If
See
I
you.
didn't say it enough, subscribe.
Okay, see you in the next video.
Good night. Good night.
I can't forget the day we met. Your eyes so blue